Me, mine has been off 2 days now.
Okay. This topic is what? Read the topic for me. Read the topic for me.
Say what? Okay. Managing external friendship with marital wisdom.
Customer friendship with marital
Marital
wisdom.
wisdom.
This one we are looking at female opposite sex.
Okay, so it is yet
Hmm?
another
I think it didn't specify.
Saturday night right here on Fila FM.
Okay.
89.3,
Yes, he
and
spoke
coming
about
your
some
way with
balancing marriage
Love
friendship.
360 right here
Okay.
on your real talk.
The
radio.
role of childhood
So
friends
wherever
after
you are
marriage.
picking the signal
Friends
from,
with single,
we say thank you
friendship with
and
single
then
friends.
welcome to
Opposite
the show.
sex
We really
friendship.
appreciate your time with us. And of course, we're going to look at yet another interesting topic. We're going to be looking at another interesting topic. We already said that this whole month, the month of June, is all about marriage and friendship. It's all about marriage and then friendship. So we're continuing with that. For the past weeks, our discussion has been on friendship at the heart of a thriving marriage. Last week we looked at cultivating a supportive friendship community around your marriage, and today we're looking at managing friendship or external friendships with marital wisdom. You remember last 2 weeks when we met Titus, it was your Kawawa song, right?
Yes, I think so.
They made us understand that your spouse cannot be your best friend. And so today they'll go deeper, since we are looking at external friendships with marital wisdom. So I believe they'll go deeper and let us understand why they think that your husband being or your spouse being your best friend is not the best. It means that external friendship is being encouraged. So we say that friendships outside marriage can become a double-edged sword. While healthy, respectful friendships can enrich a couple's life with support and perspective, unguarded unguarded or overly innate relationships, especially with the opposite sex, can also pose threats to trust and fidelity. So that's why we say it is a double-edged sword. So stick and stay with us today as we look at managing external friendships with marital wisdom. If you need to manage external friendship, then you should have that marital wisdom. So we are right here in the studio, and joining me to talk about this, I have Titus Osei-Bubi, who is a relationship expert and also a counselor, and I have Rashid Sulemana Kawawa, history master with Ghana Senior High School, Ghana School. He is a researcher and entrepreneur and also a business coach. My name is Akusia Kwatima, which you can call me AKB. And of course, Godfred is here, and if Godfred is here, it means we are live, very much live on Facebook, Fila FM 89.3. And as we are live on Facebook, please join, share, and also comment. don't just join us, comment and share. It's 39 minutes past 8 o'clock. Okay, and I just want to apologize for the late start of the show. And then we say the weather no, see I am weather I am home something which is there. It's in I am not as it be to me about as it be to me I am home something. But we just thank God that we are here. Yaba should be near. Yaba should be near. So let me welcome Titles and then Kawawa to the show tonight. Good evening, Titles and Kawawa.
Good evening, Kiri.
Good evening, everyone.
You go up. Well, what I need in Waba, she be in Wakade.
Well, I didn't know.
She be in Wakade.
Kawawa. Or say what I didn't know Waba, so you be any one.
I can't hear with say a tears here. I can't hear with pie.
Oh, there's no coffee.
Now, coffee, no food.
I don't make This is a four-legged weather, and there are only 2 legs in my house. So I am critical.
Yeah, critical. Okay.
My weekend was too tight for me.
How was it?
My weekend was too tight.
It was too tight,
Since morning I've been traveling.
Wow.
I left Tamale to Salaga around 6 o'clock. Now I even went to the church before.
Okay.
Morning mass. From morning mass I just proceeded to Salaga and I'm just coming.
They're just coming.
Okay, this universal rain. It rained heavily in Salaga from Salaga to Tamale here. So we thank God for such a rain. The farmers were very excited. Only the rice farmers were not so excited because
the rice farmers won't be excited.
The rice fields are being taken over by the rains and the tractors are not there to plow the farms.
Okay.
So very soon the water will take over the field. So we are praying to government and those with tractors in Tamale head towards Salaga. Salaga, we need tractors. And then the fuel is down, but they've increased the plowing.
Sir?
250. 1 acre.
They
They are saying dollar down, see fuel down, but things are not so. I don't know whether it's the Ghanaian attitude or what. Tractor services there is 250. It's too high. It can be. The Casanchra amount for.
Just that a few goods have reduced.
Yeah. Those goods are not so much domestic consumables. Electronics, food is still high.
Some. Rice and then oil, for instance.
Yeah.
There's been a price reduction.
Yeah.
Rice and oil.
It can be rice, babe. I went and bought. I don't know whether it's my area. I've been. It was even. I've been buying it. I never knew it's even 22.5 kilos. I thought it was 25 kilos. Until I went and this I look at the box and the bag and it was 22 point something.
They keep reducing.
I don't know, they keep reducing and my area it was 485.
First that 5 kg, they've now reduced it to 4.5.
5
5
kg,
has now been reduced to 4.5.
I'm at 25, so be more reduced. Some of the bags are 22 point. So it's now 22. I've never noticed it until about 3 days ago. I went and bought, and they said the Abena family and some of those rice families they use 22.5.
Which means that they are small bags near 4.5.
I think so. So I'm not sure no more reducing it, man.
Okay, so let's come back. Let's come back to the studio. I said you're ready, and I got titles with one. I said you're ready, so let's come back to it. Okay, so managing external friendships with marital status. I'm sure for the past weeks we've talked about what a friendship is. Last week we looked at friendship in marriage. Last week we looked at friendship in general. So I don't know whether we should recap, maybe for the sake of maybe someone who might be tuning in today, maybe didn't listen or watch us last 2 weeks and last week. So if we should just say a little bit about it and recap about what friendship is as your opening remarks.
Okay.
Comment on the topic.
Well, okay, we friendship is on different levels from what we did previously. We for the normal person, we call anybody who we normally talk to once in a while, or we know, friends. It's a word we normally use haphazardly to describe people we have met or we have seen or we've had an encounter with. But we're able to come and deduce that friendship goes beyond just talking to someone and knowing them. When you look at the biblical standard for friendship, it says there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother, which means that friendship is something that moves into bond, family bond or ties. Friendship could also be within the circles of someone you can share secret things, a whole lot with. It means that beyond somebody who is willing to, have your back in the hardest circumstance, when you look at the Bible foundation for friendship. But for the sake of those who have normal friends outside, we know that among all these definitions we are giving, only one person or two may fit that definition. And that one, we can't be talking about one person who will affect your marriage like that. So we expand the net. It will include those you even watch movies with, those you are in the office with, those you are in, anybody you are free with, you talk to, you affiliate with in one way or the other. We will add them to this definition, because we are not talking about who a genuine friend is. We are just talking about friends, people who influence. So people around you, basically in your workplace, in your home, in your where you live, your schoolmates, anyone you have a kind of rapport with, anyone you have a kind of interaction with regularly, in that sense, for the purposes of the topic we are going to treat today, we will classify all of them as friends. In fact, to that extent, somebody you have met today for today's topic can have a lot of influence on you, because there are people you meet in a very short while. You are able to give them a lot of information about you. You feel so comfortable around them, and you're able to say a lot. So basically, that will be my foundation for a friendship. Now, anyone you have interaction with more than once for a period of time. It could be your childhood friend, it could be your book friend, library friend, movie friend, radio friend, Facebook friend, whichever friend you can find. They are all friends. In fact, these days I'll even add social media, because some people have their friends as social media. So TikTok can be somebody's friend. Facebook, if you ask them, so what do you do? I talk with my friends. They watch TikTok, they watch social media. All of them are friends now. I'll add them into the category of friendship right now. These are people we think have a lot of effects on our marital environment and relationship. Oh, Ampo. Oh, baby, undi mi ndiara. Obi adam for your TikTok o. Ne footwear onye nyina for TikTok.
Okay.
Ne so obi be mana sere a onipa kro TikTok. If you are on TikTok, you are somebody's friend you don't even know. They are there. People come to your DM as soon as somebody asks you. So you post a video and somebody you send friend requests to people. Is that not it? And the people accept your friend request. Automatically you are friends. And they post things on their status and you read. You think they are not having effect on you? They are. They post videos and you watch. All of them are one way or the other giving you some education about how to live life that you don't know subconsciously, but it affects you in that order. You even follow someone. When you are following someone on social media today, I can classify that person as your friend that you don't even know.
As I said, in this instance, no, you need acquaintance.
Say acquaintance more will be somehow of a physical nature, where you've met someone briefly. But I'm trying to, expand the net of friendship based on the kind of things that influence us in our daily lives. And I'm saying that someone you have not met before, but you read about the person's post on social media. You have not physically met the person for him to become an acquaintance, for you to even grow friendship there. But whatever he posts or whatever they do, you read, you laugh at it, you are even taking advice from them when they post those things. They are your social media friends. So it means that physical friends perform different functions than the social media friends. Based on the barriers, you are communicating, but you don't really know that they are communicating with you in one way or the other, subtly, subconsciously. These people are friends that you don't really know. Today, if you don't know, I'm stressing. Those you follow, those who you add friends request, all of them can become friends, and they are your friends, just that in another form. Their effect can be higher or lower, more or less, in that sense.
Anyway, that's what I was also going to say. So that will be like my students.
I concur.
And one and so repeat what you say it loud. In school we say then say yours loud. It be just as Titus said, and to recap from what we said yesterday, in last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks. A friend is somebody you like, you trust, and you flow in communication, and you share things in common, or you have common identity or common interest. So in this simple definition, let him say we have 4 thematic areas. You like the person, you trust the person, you flow in communication, and you share or have common interests. And as my brother Titus said, on social media, some of the things we share and people come and like them, that means on that level we have common interests. So you can see that with this common definition, it means that we have level of friendship. Some you like them, and that's where it ends. Like you meet somebody, and that's what you use, the acquaintance. You just meet somebody and you just like the person. You can interact with the person, but the issue of trust will not be there. Another person, you like him and trust the person. On another level, you have a friend that you easily just communicate with the person, but you don't have things that you share in common. So for you to have a very comprehensive friend, just like we are coming to discuss within this topic, you should like the person, you should trust the person, you should flow in communication, and you should have things in common. So if you are able to build this kind of environment, then we say you are very good friends, or you are into a very sound friendship. And that's why most researchers and theories state that you can only build these 4 levels of friendship when you have stayed with the person for between 1 and 3 years. When you are able to stay with somebody, or you stay with somebody in the same environment, or you communicate with the person within a period of 1 year to especially 3 years, then you've built a very sound friendship. And even they go on to say that after 3 years, especially after 7 years, your friendship moves even to a different level, and you see each other as siblings. And most researchers have said that at a point you even look alike. People think that they'll see you, though that kind of biological similarity is not there, but people will just see you and say, hey, you and this your friend, you look alike. Sometimes one is even fat and one is slim, but they say you look alike, and you just become like siblings. And actually, I'm not reminding you of Pace, your friend who left. What was the name? Charity. I think most people were saying you were like siblings or you were like what. And I believe you built that friendship for very long. So in short, these are some of the issues or the definitions we gave about friendship. And we say you can develop it to different level. And in marriage, you marry somebody who is your friend, but not your best friend. I think we agree that you have to marry your friend, but not your best friend. And that's the issue of the best friend. I think we'll be coming to discuss it today. How to balance your best friend who is not your wife and your marriage, and how to have that kind of wisdom to deal with the two situations. So this one I'll also summarize with who a friend is.
So we now know who a friend is. So now coming to marriage and then external friendship. How important is it to have friends outside of your marriage? Titus.
It's critical.
Okay.
It's very important to have friends outside your marriage. Remember that you were not an island before you got married. The same way you are from a family, you came to marry, you pass through places. It's your school, your mates, your childhood friends, your colleagues. All these people contributed to build your personality as you are growing up. There shouldn't be a time where you are married and all of a sudden all of them are gone. You do away with them. These are the people, sometimes these are the people who were sustaining you one way or the other for you to even get into the marriage in which you are now. In certain terms, they help make you and stabilize you in certain ways. Some of them offered advice, some of them offered different sort of things for you to get into the marriage in which you are. There are some beyond the marriage or after the marriage, they can still be useful. And others, after your marriage, they cease to be useful. That one depends on the individual and how you assess friendship. So yes, after you are married, I know we are in the days where some women are saying, I want my husband to be my friend, my mother, my father, my sister, my uncle, my everything. I'm saying it is too stressful. Well, man can't be all those things and still look for money and bring it to the house. Find your own friend, and you should also find his own friends. There are certain things, they are easier, certain conversations, they are easier with friends, out external friends than with your partner. I'm not saying you can't find them. They are rare. For one man to act in all those capacities, there are men who have built their capacity to be that to you, but not all men have that capacity to be that everything you are looking for. When you meet a partner who doesn't have the capacity to be that everything you are looking for, then it means that your external friends become very important to the sustenance of your marriage. Yeah, some friends are so important that they even help your marriage thrive longer. They are so important that they come with and help you understand yourself, even in the marriage that you are going. Some friends have even pre-warned you about some of the things. They know you better than your husband, actually. The friends you are with, they have been with you for 30 years, 20 years, 15 years. When did you meet this guy? 2 years, 3 years. For a maximum 3-4 years, you are married. And all of a sudden, this guy should know you better than the external friends you have. It doesn't happen. They know you better. As a matter of fact, it's not surprising if your husband even made a decision to marry you based on certain friends who gave him some tips on how to manage your bad character or how to manage yourself, or even warn you about, oh, as for this girl, some promoted you for you to be married. Yeah, they did your promo for you. So they are critical. They are. It's like you can't just do away with them. You can't just do away with them. Just that, as I said, they have their use. All friends have their uses. There are friends that are useful when you are single, and there are friends their uses will cease when you marry.
Okay.
So you must learn and be able to select all these, know the differences and all those characteristics. And as a matter of fact, when you marry too, there are friends you are going to make in that marriage. Whilst you are married, there are new friends that marriage will also bring to on your part. And all these people are critical for the survival or even the destruction of your marriage, depending on how you handle them. So it is not about the friends. Actually, it's not about the external friends you have. It's about you, the person who have them, and how you relate with those external friends. For them, they will always be your friend. You know the stupid ones, you know the correct ones, you know the jovial ones, you know the dangerous ones, you know the ones who, if you allow them into your house, the next moment when you go out and come, your husband will be on them. You know all of them. So it's not about them. Actually, it's about you, the person who you call such people your friends. So friends are critical to every marriage.
So friends being critical to every marriage, should they be just normal friends? Should they be close friends? As a married person, should you have close friends outside marriage? Maybe this person is my very close friend, this is my tight friend, this is my this. Should you have that? How
You should have that. Should you have a close friend outside marriage? You should have it. And before I come to that question, AKB, you see, let us understand the why we marry. The with importance or significance of marriage, let me put it away. And we'll come to the role or the significance of friends too. You see, we marry. Marriage is for ultimate act of love for your partner. So for you to marry somebody, it means you have some ultimate act of love. And that's why last 2 weeks, I said it here that nobody uses money to marry the enemy. Literal translation from the Akano being Tisika and Warren Townful. So it's an ultimate act of love. We marry for legal sex. So for you to have sex and legal sex is between your wife and your partner. That means you cannot have legal sex with your friend, whether the same sex or the opposite sex, depending on the spouse we are involved. Then we marry for companionship. I want us to underline this word, companionship. Companionship is different from friendship. So we marry for companionship. Because companionship is somebody who is always around you. You have a company. But AKB, you realize that it's not all friends, or you will not be with friends 24/7. But after your wife, you are likely to be with your wife 24/7. So he's always accompanying you, and she's by yourself, or your husband is always by yourself. Companionship. We marry for socialization, and finally we marry for procreation. So if you know this role of marriage and you situate it into friendship, you realize that there's a paradox between friendship and marriage. So to your question, should you have a friend in marriage? Wise in marriage? AKB is a big yes.
tight friend?
Very tight. It's a big yes. Because marriage itself is like a tripod. You, your wife, or your husband, and the externalities. And the externalities could be your wife, your parents or relative or the friend. But the best externality that has an impact, AKB, on marriage is a friend. And AKB, let me use myself. Throughout my life, AKB, friends have helped me before and in marriage more than my siblings, or I would say even my partner. In politics that I went, AKB, if I tell you my close, what I call my best friend, what they did to me, even my siblings, they couldn't do a quarter of it. So that is the impact of friendship. So I see marriage as a tripod, and I think that's one just in front of me, a tripod. You have one leg here, your wife, the other leg, your husband in the marriage, and the third one to sustain the marriage is your friend. Then in between the tripod, you have God in the middle. So this is how I view marriage. So everybody should have a friend who, and as my friend said, a good friend who can have very positive impact on their marriage. And you will also realize that when we come to the red flags or issues that brings divorce or break up a relationship and marriages, one of the biggest red flag is always a friend, because most spouses or partners are jealous with when you are gravitating towards your friend, and I think that's where the wisdom comes in. So if you were to just ask me yes or no, I'll say yes. Every relationship should have a third party as a friend, but how to balance that third party and how to manage it with wisdom is always the problem that we have, and I think that's what has brought us here today. Managing the external parties or external friendship with wisdom. And you have to be AKD, you have to be tactical. They can have positive impact on your marriage, and they can also have serious negative impact. And what comes to mind, and I normally use it, is Odate Lamte's marriage. It was friends who caused the issue, and as my friend Titus was saying, you come and you go and your friend comes to take over your marriage. So this is what I'll say about it.
Okay, so you've even already brought me to my next question: balancing friendships with marriage. Titus, how do you balance marriage with friendship, external friendships?
Oh, okay. You should. Let me just take a bite on Kawawa's question. Okay. Yes, the answer is still yes.
Yes.
With the same caution he sounded. I think I just want to state it so that we don't forget when we come to the wisdom attached to the marriage and the friendship, that there are some friendship that by default they are dangerous.
Are dangerous?
Yes, they are very dangerous to your marriage. We said friendship are critical, so the wisdom at one side is that there are some friendship that are by default dangerous. You were talking about besties, is that not it? It is dangerous for a female to have a bestie who is a male, and it's also dangerous for the same female to have a bestie who is another female. Look, no matter how you turn it, but the danger is more when a female's bestie is a male in a marriage. Okay, but they can serve good purposes and they can serve bad purposes. That's why I said that it doesn't depend on the friend, it depends on you who call that person a friend. So those are some dangers that when we are talking about managing them, maybe we will make mention of that. The question again.
The question: how
do you manage, how to balance
the two? Yes.
Balance.
External friendship.
And then so you should know your marriage and your friends are not the same. That's the first thing you should know. You should also know that they were your friends and now you have moved from that category of friends into another world called marriage, which demands more attention than your friends. Sometimes the critical thing that happens to certain people is that they are not able to let their friends know that now I'm married. They still want to behave as if they are single. Most men marry and they still don't get the I don't know how to manage they still don't feel they are obliged to provide certain environment different from their friendship. The man still goes out as if the wife doesn't exist. The woman still wants to enjoy life as if the husband doesn't exist. And in that case, they are making the environment of marriage suffer. Remember that at first, if you wanted to talk to someone, you may have to call someone far away. But now you have somebody indoors. So this time, the person you have brought in has come to take some of the burdens or some of the plenty wahala that you were calling friends for here and there. First, probably if you want to release stress, you call one female friend those days to meet you somewhere, you do your thing and everybody goes away. Now that has been reserved into your marriage. That can only be done legitimately in your marriage. But still, some people don't have that. Nothing rings in their head that their marriage demands more than their friendship. So as soon as you get into the marital environment, you have to start prioritizing your marriage and leaving certain things that you were doing as a single among some friends and bringing them into your marriage. So it's now going to be something like 70% of marriage, 30% friends. In that sense, this one you have to make the conscious effort. It doesn't come naturally. Remember that these are people you have lived with for 20 years, 10 years plus, and the lady or the man you met is somebody you are just going to live, you have started living with. Maybe you know him for 5 years. Before you even married, both of you were integrated among the friends, and now you've brought your marriage outside. Sometimes it's even critical if both couples have the same kind of friends. First, if there were incidents or there were avenues where you used to go out to meet the friends. Now in your marital home, in quote, certain times you can have your friends come home instead of you going out with them. There is a lady who married, and the husband loves football. So every Saturday the husband will go out and go and watch football, and the lady was worried that, and you know how the football season starts. They start around 11 o'clock and the last match is around 8 p.m. normally, where Real Madrid and co will play. So this so after he was complaining, say, hey, brother, sister, you knew this guy was watching football at all those times. When you were dating, all Saturdays he will tell you that I'm going with the friends to watch football. You thought when you were married it will change. So this guy was not willing to let go of that side of his life, because for him that was the time he had with his friends. You know, they talk, they do whatever they want to do, and his stress relieving moment. I said, okay, if you don't like it, then find a way of bringing the football home and then bringing the friends. So that place you can control the environment, because when boys meet, any stupid thing is available. So she bought into the idea, brought a DSTV into the house. The guy bought his big TV, and now Saturdays, instead of they going to the pub, the guys come home. All the bottles you want, they are in the house. They come home. She cooks. They watch football. It's strategic. It's strategic. You see, you can't drive your husband's friends away from him all the time. They say, hey, right now there your wife take over. She should not make you come out, and they will start talking for you to feel you are not even a man anymore. So the first step was drag them home, bring all of them to the house. Then gradually something will happen. They will just find their way. One day, all of them, instead of going to meet somewhere, some will not be able to even travel to the house. They will start going up, and when your husband gets used to staying home whilst you are cooking on Saturday for him to eat next time, even if they want to go out. And for over a period of time, when the lady did that, now the man preferred staying in the house watching the football with a few friends. Sometimes they don't even come, but he still stays. So this girl got the husband to the house, and the husband stopped going out to watch the game. So tactically, sometimes you have to win your husband from, or your partner from, the kind of friends and the kind of activities that they are. But consciously you must make that effort. Know that you are no longer a single person. You can't keep your friends, your single friends, especially we have friends who are married and friends who are not married in that same circle. Sometimes we all mingle together in that sense. Other times you have to separate them in that order. Make time for your marriage and make time for your friends. Sometimes you have to schedule, okay, and pre-inform your partner about some of the meetings you are going to have with your friends. Okay. Whether you are, today I'll be late, or today or this day we are going out with the friends, or whichever way. These are ways you can help manage your marriage and friendship. But it doesn't always have to be friends. It looks like some people are running away from their marriage. they are running away from home, and it's all about friends. They will be in the house and they are still talking to friends outside. It is very painful. Like the person they married, all of a sudden they wouldn't have any form of thing in common, and they will also be in the house. Okay, I told you that some people's friend is social media. You will see two couples sitting together and everybody is on their phone talking with their friends on social media, and strangely they will all be laughing, but whatever laughter is not something both of them are sharing. So if you want to live happily with friends around, you must find the balance. You must strike the balance personally, that these are times I would want to be with friends and these are times I would want to be at home. In fact, you and your partner should come to that agreement or that kind of arrangement that, oh, on Fridays I kind of want to have 2 or 3 hours with the friends and I'll come home. Then the other person could also, when it is time for her to also meet her girls and then talk about certain things. These are times we used to rejuvenate, or we used to boys, for instance, they build more testosterone in that environment. When they come home, they are different person altogether. The girls will also need this time to talk about girls things and all those things before. Yeah, those things, a whole lot of wahala. And sana, those issues come. So you have to personally make the effort that these times I would want to have some friends here and there. If even those who are married, oh, why don't we invite such people into our home according to your own terms? Or why don't we visit these people, on such days? When you go to people's home or people come to your home, they have a way of strengthening your marriage in that order. So managing friends, external friends, is a conscious act. It doesn't come by default. You must make the effort with your partner and by yourself and resolve that these are things or these are times I would like to have with my friends outside, and these are things or these are times I would like to have with my wife. Percentage wise, you must have more time in your marriage than having any other time with external friends. They should come in when they need be, or sometimes just for occasional and happy hours. Yes, let's call it some happy hours. But most of the time, it's better to be with your friends whilst your wife is around. In that order.
It's better to be with your friends.
Whilst your wife. Yes, go out with your wife plus your friends. In that order. Why not? She also want to go out and enjoy. So why should you go out alone, leaving her in the house? So there are tier 1 boys thing.
Like you said.
And what about if your wife too is going to the friends?
Football.
If the wife too is going,
that is even more better. So today I'll meet the boys. Okay, today I'll meet the girls. What time are we coming back? Let's meet 2 o'clock. Then we will all come home. From the boys' side, I pass by the girls' side, pick my wife, and we all come home together. Or from the girls' side, she comes to where I am, or we meet somewhere, and we all come home together. In all these cases, remember we said that they have influence on you. So going out and coming in, all of you must be careful what you are bringing back. When you go out, you will bring something back. So you must be careful in that order. That is the management. Know that, hey, these days, when you hang out with your friends, it's changing you. What are you listening? What are you watching? What are you doing there? Then you ask your partner, I think the boys are having bad effect on you. Who gave you this advice? Your wife will come home and do some style and you'll be surprised. You think, where does he bring it from? Sit down there. Your husband comes and one day, the man who like one round, all of a sudden, what he change? Who do you think is giving him those pressure and those external
He's reading.
He's reading. Oh,
he's not a researcher.
Nobody looks through books these days.
He's not a researcher.
These days we don't look through book. It is no book. People are putting things in the person's ear and in that other. Oyebetumi is stubborn. For all of a sudden, you don't know what is happening. TikTok, the friend on TikTok, she has read something on Facebook, or the friend she's meeting. All these people, if you don't manage yourself very well, they are going to crash you down in your marriage. Yeah.
If you don't manage things very well, it's going to crash you down in your marriage. Okay. So we're talking about managing external friendships with marital wisdom. Marital wisdom. And since we started, it's been established that yes, external friendship is good, but we come to managing it with marital wisdom as well. So during your initial comments and all that, you also mentioned childhood friends. I heard you mention childhood friends. So what role does childhood friends play in your marriage? That is, after you are married, the person has been your friend from childhood, you now marry. What role can such a friend play in your marriage?
Before I come down, I have something to how to balance the two, the marriage and the friendship. And before I come to that one too, we should be clear with this. AKB, marriage do not change a person. It refines the person. Personally, marriage, and with all research, marriage will not change you.
Is it everybody refines?
The refined nature of it depends, but it will not change you, and that's why they say marriage is not a cure to promiscuity.
Of course.
So if somebody is promiscuous and married, it doesn't mean the person will obey. Sometimes it even magnifies it. Do you know sometimes you marry a girl, some indirectly will now be proposing to you the week of marriage. So it's not a cure. And two, you see the worst form of advice sometimes I hear in some churches when they are counseling or when the pastor finishes blessing the marriage, then he will now say to the girl, hey, from today all the friends keep away from her or him, keep off from no. It's a gradual process. That's why even when they are rehabilitating somebody in the, what do they call it, this narcotic, somebody who is addicted to this narcotic substance, whilst in the confinement, they still give the person a little dose of those things that the person was abusing. So it's very good we know our limit. This is how I want us to look at it, or how to balance it. First, I will say balance your time. As my brother Titus say, I agree with the 70-30. It's a very perfect ratio. Balance your money. It's very important that in trying to keep your friends and your marriage, you try to balance your money. Some people spend a lot on friendship than in marriage. I was coming with my daughters. These days they are working at some place and I pick them sometimes very late from the work side. And anytime I reach this film without any malice or what Sarafina, I see married couples sitting there sometimes to 2 o'clock midnight. One, you are not balancing your money and you are not balancing your time. Runabout or no, I don't know. They
are running away from their wives.
We'll come to that. Most of them are highly married, and not even married, they are highly married.
They are taking fresh air.
I've done that thing. You know me, I'm very curious. Most of them, you see that they are alone, boys, or girls, is halal. And I think that will come to also marry your friend. We say you should marry your friend, but don't make your wife your best friend. I think some of those places, if we can ask my to say you can go with your wife if you want to sit outside for long. I don't know how they balance it. They balance your privacy. Some people don't know what is private.
There's also one thing there. During courtship, you can go out with him or her to any place and all that. But remember when marriage comes, especially when children come in.
No man than home appliance.
And the more you stay home, at the time the children are young or are small, to take care of them, I don't know if it's just me though, but it gets to a time you are no longer interested in those kind outing again.
Yeah.
Okay, Krana, it's like you're in a hurry to go.
Come home.
If they are grown, they are now on their own. You can easily leave them and go out and come back anytime you want. But I think you yourself, you lose that interest of having to go and sit outside for long.
Balance.
And AKB, that's why we are talking about. That's why the balance. Yes, you can go out, but not to a certain time, a level. Yes, I'm now not going out with my wife because she's a lactating mother. But that even put more responsibility on you, is that because she's with a small child, the family has become very fragile. Anything can happen. So when I move out, I should come back early. Not to go and stay till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. What conversation alone are you having there? Or what kind of drink are you taking that you cannot take it in the house? So balancing your time is very, very important. And I say balancing your privacy. It can be some people don't know what they should discuss with their friends and what they should discuss they shouldn't, or what they should discuss with their wife. Balancing your independence, AKB, is very, very important. And balancing breakups. AKB, most of the challenges we are facing with these friends is the bestie or your former lovers or people you broke the word, your former ex. How you manage the breakup, because most often than not, your ex, you develop a friendship with your ex.
Yes.
The relationship is there and the friendship is there. So if you break up, it means that it's the love relationship that broke off, but not the friendship. So how to manage the breakup is usually what is very, very important. You know, we have 3 levels of breakups with your ex. Breakup with your ex. One, the one that is very antagonistic. Monka Sakura and Tokwa. So that one, if you marry, hallelujah. If you didn't see Ebufuoso, so that one, if you marry, you compound the problem. So when you see the person, you don't even talk to the person. Another one is the one you break up on a very sound, what we call note. You greet each other. You know that this one we broke up. We said, oh, let us break up. AKB, the third one is the dormant one.
As if we are there.
As if we are there. As if they are not there. Then suddenly you go and marry. It's very, very dangerous.
Because it's like, but we didn't break up.
But we didn't break up. So that is where that wisdom and tactfulness must come in. And AKB, balancing technology and phone when we marry, as my friend said, is one of the dangers of marriage. Technology becoming our friends. AKB, there is a statement that now phone has brought those distance closer and those closer apart. We are closer to those who are apart and very distant to those who are just our close, sitting close to us. You are very much apart. So we should balance that one, very important. Then AKB, to your question, how to
the road childhood friend.
The road childhood friend. AKB, that's even sometimes the most dangerous aspect. The childhood friends. Dangerous in quote. Because AKB, with the childhood friendship, you become too much attached to that person. And as my friend said, you have been with the person. I have a friend, I stayed with him for about 20-something years before I married. We were friends for 20-something years. We were friends for 20-something years before I got married. And I can travel sometimes. We're in the same community in Bimbala, the hospital. They transferred our parents, and he went to Walwali. We came to Tamale. At times I will leave Tamale and go to Walwali during weekends. He will also come to Tamale. So such a person, if I marry, and the pastor gives advice that I should break up from the person, from now on, what you were doing with the person, you can no longer do with the person. Evil. That pastor, that advice, I don't think is tenable. So what we have to do is the word balance. And the childhood friends, the danger is that at a point you become so closer to them that they influence your marriage either positively or negatively, depending on that childhood friend. And the best type of childhood friend that can influence your marriage positively if you are lucky and he's also married. At times you will marry and that person is not married.
Okay.
It can be very dangerous to your relationship and especially to your marriage. So the balance is there. Because what AKB, that friend knows you very much. And if you are lucky, what you are experiencing in your marriage, he's also experiencing it. So sometimes when what you see in your marriage that is very what do you call it, is abnormal. When you go to him and you complain, then he say, look, that's the same thing we are also experiencing. That's what we call marriage, especially if one married before the other and has that experience of marriage. It helps a lot. So it's the issue I'll just mention is about the balancing. The childhood friends have positive impact on the marriage, but it depends on how we gravitate towards them whilst neglecting our marriage. Because you were roaming with the person at every point, sometimes when you marry, you still want to live your life as if nothing is at stake. There's no woman at home, so you still want to move and gallivant about without taking into consideration your marriage. And sometimes the freedom that you people were enjoying before marriage, you still want to enjoy that kind of freedom. You go out and you want to come home at any time because you went out with your friends. And when your wife wants to complain or your husband, you say, but that's my childhood friend. I've known him for 19 kojohoho. I was with him before I married. No, the balancing must be there. So they can impact both positively and negatively, depending on how we balance it. And that's where the wisdom counts a lot. That's where the wisdom comes in.
Okay, thank you. So if you are doing the listening, it's 31 minutes past 9 o'clock. I couldn't open the phone lines early because we ourselves didn't start the So if you want to join the discussion, join the conversation, ask any questions, share your thoughts or your experiences, you have to dial 0249 535 600 0249 535 600. That is where you should send your calls to 0249 535 600. You can call there and then we will pick and hear your thoughts about our discussion managing external friendships with marital wisdom. That is what we're looking at. Alright, so Titus, let's look at married and being friends with someone who's not married. Like Kawa was saying, if that friend of yours or that childhood friend of yours is not married and also a different issue altogether. So as a married person, be a married man and married woman, and then be friends with a friend who is single, who is not married. How does it affect?
There is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with her.
There's nothing wrong.
There is nothing wrong with a married woman being friends with a non-married person. The wisdom here is what are you, the married person, looking for in that friendship with the unmarried one. So if I'm a friends with somebody who is not married, it should be the opposite. She should be looking at me, looking at how I'm handling my marriage, something like a mentor-mentee. I hope you understand that. Yes, but it shouldn't be that I, the married person, is sharing my marital issues or my marital stuff with the unmarried person, thereby even destroying her or him. You don't know marriage be shege, women are shege in that order. By so doing, you are even polluting the one who is not married. And the most dumbest thing you can do is asking for that unmarried person, what should I do? Okay, that is very dumb. What you are experiencing, that person has no experience. So that's why I'm saying that as for friends, you can even have bad friends whilst you are married. They will give you very bad advice that can help you destroy your marriage. Or they will even, some of them will even give you very bad, you see, some of them are so bad, they will give you bad advice that can even help make your marriage stronger. there are some friends who are naturally spoilt. They know all the secrets about sex. So when you call on them, that Charlie, I'm short. These days I can't get the thing out. Quickly, they will do all the concoction in the world and come to your aid and make sure that you can function. But there are some friends who can give you very good advice, but that particular thing they are not exposed to such well. So it's all about you, the individual. When you know where to go at what for, yes,
and a particular
yes. You don't cluster all your friends, and anytime you are in trouble, it's like the last time I was saying, it's like national lotteries. You dig your hand into the pool. You anytime you pick, no, you start talking to the person. No,
you should behave like America.
Exactly.
You know who to partner you for.
Exactly.
War, who to partner
for war, who to partner for trade, who to partner for. That is how you should behave. That is what wisdom says. So when you need certain advice, you call on certain friends. Look, there are some friends who are very bad. When you are in trouble and you need some aggressive mentality, when you call on them, bulldozers, they will come to your aid right now. And whatever you need to be accomplished, they will do it for you. You don't throw them away, but you know when to fall on them. So single people being friends with married couples has never been the issue. The issue is how you, the married person, handles the single person.
So what the issue is the married
person, not the single. The issue has never been the single person.
The single person, only problem.
It
is you, the
problem.
The onus lies on
you. It lies on you. The friends have not even been the challenge since the inception. All those people who are advising, when you marry, don't tell your friends. I assume to you know, engagement advice. There is always one person who will tell you, of course, as you are going to the marriage, whatever happens in your house, don't tell anybody. Go and tell God.
This is your marriage.
See you.
If there are issues, solve your issues.
So now you should know the what you should tell God and what you should tell.
So I said to you, fear women. No. So it has never been the friends. It has never been the single person who is not married. It has always been the one who left singlehood to the marital environment. His ability to discern that no, this is not a single matter. This guy is single. He has not experienced what I've experienced, and he can't advise in that way. Even the challenge with exes, it has never been the ex. It has always been you, the one who is married. That is because some ex can be so helpful to you. Let me tell you one story. There is a friend of mine, crazy guy, but very, very disciplined. He had a friend who wanted national service. Unfortunately, he was talking about it on phone with, and then their wife's ex was working in a company that the girl preferred to do the service. And he said, can you call this guy for him to see whether he can. The wife was like scared, like he said, I've not even called him for a very long time. That's a smart woman. As soon as she got married, cut off all kind of ex talking. So how can I call somebody I've not been calling for the past 5 years or for the past even 3 years forever? So don't worry, I'm a man, he's your ex. When you call him, he'll respond. And lo and behold, when he called the guy, quickly he picked up, hey, today what is happening? I need help for a cousin of my husband, if you can help. And not just help, this girl went on to even had an appointment. That is an ex from a smart person. This same ex, somebody will call and you say, oh, meet me at Hotel the Wawa. And this same wife will give an excuse, meet and go and do whatever they are going to do. And people will be saying, don't talk to exes. Yes, as much as exes are dangerous, they are not dangerous because they are dangerous because of you, how you are. You are weak, you are indecisive, you are you can't hold yourself together, you are immature for you to handle the friendship that exists. Because exes are people who will go a long way to solve your problem faster than even your family member. Sometimes when you are hard struck somewhere, it's just about how. Yeah, we know some of the exes, some women, I call them, they were digmatized to some extent, that if they marry, they still remember their partner's sexual exploration. If you are in those kind of places, then I will advise you, don't even breathe the word ex in your life. Not at all. If he's the last person for you to get help from, then don't call. But I know women who also said, if you are my ex, I don't even want a relationship with you anymore.
Because that people know their.
Oh yes, they are that disciplined. That no, I will not even call you. I will not even want you to pass even in my environment or whatever it is. It's all in the discipline that people have built over the years when it comes to friendship. So there is no harm for you to have a friend who is not married, because they will serve their purpose. Only know when to use them and when not to use them. Don't cut them off totally, because you have something to offer them. As a matter of fact, they also have something to offer you as singles.
Okay. So what about friends with the opposite sex?
Dangerous. Dangerous. Both sexes. Both sexes. Kawawa talk about that. They are very dangerous.
Why should Kawawa talk?
They dangerous. If I'm a man.
To be frank, AKB, there's no any 99% of all opposite friendship has an underlying in COVID. I want that word. Underlying what?
Underlying symptoms.
Underlying symptoms. No, there was some word during the COVID that underlying. Some of them died of COVID, and they say they had underlying conditions. All opposite sex friendship have underlying conditions.
Yes.
It's just a few of them that is typically ubiem obejemu. 99% of the ulusi guy there. So it's very dangerous. There is. And that is where we say wisdom. It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad, but it's dangerous. So it's a red flag. It's a red flag. It's not a white flag. Neither is it a green flag. It's a red flag. The red flag doesn't mean that it's a possibility. It means there is some chance. What we call some probability. So all is about the wisdom. AKB, they help a lot.
Yeah.
It's very helpful. It's just like we are saying. It's just like the S. Okay, I know an ex who called and said she's married, and we're having a conversation. I needed some help, and what came out of her mouth? Rashid said, "Me know the Ejaya was dying by Kuma the BBC." And then such a person will come to Tamale and will be calling me. And she's not even married to her. She's married to a pastor. So again, those things are, to be frank, they are
dangerous.
So
couldn't it also be that maybe he's just saying that to them?
Out of the abundance of the heart, the masters, she meant it. And again, you see, it's true. You see, sex has different levels. So when you marry, and this one, why I avoid, I typically knew what she was going through, and again, that's what. Let me digress some more. This abstain, what do we call, not marrying before, not having sex before marriage. It's very dangerous. Abstinence or premarital sex. This premarital sex that they preach. She like this, immediately she married, I think some months later, I was there, then she called. Kawawa, me kunu wait there, me do nyame. And kamene she 30 minutes before our reno and kamawareno. And kamawareno, they didn't have that kind of sex because the man was pastor krife, so they went that way.
It can be taught.
The church arranged that marriage.
It can be taught.
So those things, AKB, they are very dangerous. The S friendship, then the opposite sex friendship, especially when you don't manage the space. You know, I've been saying managing the space.
Yeah, boundaries are very important.
There should be boundaries. They are very, very important. Okay, every human being should do the SWOT analysis. You see, this SWOT analysis, SWOT.
SWOT, yes.
SWOT. Your strength, your weakness, your opportunity, and the threats. Even in friendship, as a human being, just sit down and know what are my strengths. What are my weaknesses, which is very important.
Mark all the guys who are your
weaknesses. Where some of the guys can send you to.
Yeah.
What are some of your weaknesses when you are close to a girl or a lady?
Map out all your traits.
Map out all your traits. In relationship and in marriage and in friendship. AKB, know your willpower. AKB, I'm somebody that friends have never influenced me in life. I take full responsibility for whatever I do. I have friends AKB who are serious alcoholics. I'm not involved. I go out with them sometimes, occasionally. Those days they'll take their alcohol. I have friends, almost all my friends take pork. Up to date at the church level. I've never taken it. We go for program, they know. And even at the church level, most of my friends know me. When they prepare myself and one guy, I was separated. It has never influenced me to take. So you should know your willpower and you should know how friends have an impact on you. So there are certain places that they are not go areas. The opposite sex, AKB, that one should not deal with frequent communication.
Not at all.
It should be targeted solutions.
Of course.
Maybe I know this friend.
Need to call baby.
Need to call. I know this my friend, this is capacity, or this my ex, like my friend said. Now you are in need of that service. Oh, then you call that guy to have some what do we call it? To come to your aid. It can be just like the single person being friend to a married person. It can be that one to the space is very, very important. You don't ask your single person friend to go and be cooking for your husband. I have seen one. It ended in painful.
I'm traveling, so
I'm traveling.
Come
and be staying with cooking.
Yes.
I know one who came on a transfer.
He said whatever he would say, he should do it, and she was also.
I know one who came on a transfer when the guy was coming on transfer. The friend was in that town. He said, "Oh, my husband is coming on transfer. When he comes, take care of the thing. Take care.
Take care.
I take care, baby. And now she was even calling and the lady wasn't speaking again.
She didn't give her a award.
It ended. I know a lot of people listening to me will know the story. It ended in death. No, it ended in death.
Wow.
That story. It ended in death.
Somebody has to die.
No, somebody has to die. It just in Tamale here. The lady was very close to me. The lady was very close to me. So you should know your boundaries. And AKB, we all know the capacity of our friends. You should also know what your friend can do and cannot do. As male friends, you should know this, my friend there. If she's coming closer to my wife, he has the capacity to do this.
It's a threat.
So you manage the space, you manage your privacy, and you manage your independence. Now, some of us, the men too who are married, we are those who expose the weaknesses of our wives. I know one friend, sometimes I stop him. And then when he comes and he's talking about his wife, what he does, at that time, most of them, he wasn't married. What he does, and it starts from when even they are boys, girls. You go and sleep with a girl, you come and you are discussing it with your boy friends. This is what the girl did, this is the style I gave him and those things. And AKB, I tell you, married couple still discuss their sexual life with their other friends, exposing the weakness of their wives. So when you do that, definitely one stubborn guy will take advantage of that weakness and exploit it. So
I was watching some video like that, and then they covered it. The lady's back was showing. Says she was going to school, university, and then she went to stay with the sister and the husband because their house was closer to the school. So instead of maybe paying more money for hostel and all that, she said honestly they took very good care of her. But her own sister, black sisters, her sister's birthday, the husband asked what she wanted, and she said she wants the husband to do. She wants them to do what they've never done before.
Threesome.
Threesome.
My beauty threesome.
God bless the woman. God bless the woman.
They all laughed.
Yes.
About it. Thinking
Oh, what the woman? What the woman?
It was just a joke. So that night they went out. That was the one speaking, the sister, and then the husband. And they all had a lot
To drink.
So they came back home, and the threesome actually happened.
So now the husband took it
sister
to the
said she
next
woke
level.
up, the younger one who is fully said she woke up and saw that the three of them
We're all lying
were on
down.
the same bed, naked, completely naked.
And she was offended.
And what even makes it more interesting is the fact that after that, some weeks later, she realized she
She's
was
pregnant. Yes.
Congratulations.
And the sister was already having issues.
Getting pregnant.
So then he told the man that this is where the man said, keep it.
Hallelujah.
Of course.
Keep it. I want it.
Problem solved.
Now the man went ahead and kept sleeping.
With the sister.
And the sister herself said that she has fallen for the sister's husband.
So what for it? So the sister they promote, you know.
AKB.
Are you okay?
AKB.
Mentally, are you alright?
Sis-
She has not fallen.
Yes.
There are things.
You shouldn't joke with.
You see, Kawa was talking about. You see, we shouldn't expose our partners too much to certain things. Don't think when it comes to certain things that our parents have told us, exes are dangerous, certain people are dangerous. Don't test your partner. As soon as they start playing with it, warn them that is fire you are playing with. Sometimes the environment you have created is so safe that you think your partner, there is nothing that can break, that can destroy him. Probably certain things around him, a man like, oh, as my husband, no woman. You won't look at another woman. Obwa. You see the overbo buyer also say obientu. Wait. You will leave keep protecting this man and don't leave him. Only about ask for my husband. One day. Honorable said phobia between my sin with them.
And sometimes they do it deliberate because you are saying your husband, so they'll try.
Oh yes, somebody will try.
Yeah.
And come because why is this woman
always
praising the husband like that? Let me go and try and see. So we should try as much as possible. There is no wrong about the things or the bad things the elders have said about friends, that they are dangerous. No, it is true. But we are also saying that much of the danger comes from us. We are the ones who refuse to recognize the danger they pose and the threats they pose to our relationship and to our partners. And if we don't help them and protect them around, when your husband is warning you or your wife is warning you about a particular girl in certain area, your friends, be cautious about it. Because sometimes when you are falling, you don't see it. You see, when a woman likes a man, some of the men, we are so dumb, we don't even see the women like us. It is our wives who determine and say, hey, that girl, the way he's smiling with you, there is a motive behind it. And we have established the fact that when it comes to the opposite sex, friendship between the opposite sex, the underlying condition is that so there is an underlying condition for that. So we should also be cautious about that. When your partner wants you, this guy, if your partner tells you this guy you are talking with, cease. He knows why he's saying that, because so we should be cautious about it.
Have you realized that until recently, divorce issues that dealt or that had or marriages that had issues with sex and they got divorced, people never heard of it. And people will just know that they've divorced. They'll follow them. None of them will discuss what the case. Most often, or in most situations, it was the issue of sex. Those that people didn't know. But now look at social media and even on air. Anami kunono or allow that or nishi. They can even go to the extent of describing the organ of the wife or the woman. And again, the closeness and exposing your partner. You see that most divorce lawyers, in most cases, research has shown that by the time the case will finish, they'll have sex with the women. Because at that time you have exposed the weakness of that marriage, the weakness of your husband, and why you are running out of the marriage to the lawyer. And if the lawyer is not the God-fearing type, he takes advantage of that weakness.
That's you reduce your price by 10% and chop you.
Yes, because everybody has one. He can use the price. Two, he knows why you are divorcing your husband, so he will exploit on that weakness. And by the time you see, he has compounded your problem. So in short, the space and the privacy, depending on who you are dealing with or who your friend is very, very important. Because I've been telling my friends that look, unrestricted freedom is anarchy. Unrestricted freedom is anarchy. So you should know where the restrictions will come from. And again, you see, and this goes to we the men, though sometimes ego and the way the women present it is always the problem. We are saying it's the presentation. Naturally, AKB, women are very instinctive. They see danger 15 minutes to the event. Men walk into danger 15 minutes before they realize it. So most of the red flags or the issues that will end men into trouble, most often than not, the women most often have discussed that issue. Hey, this girl you are going with, they say she's like this. This girl you are going, you are very close. I know this thing is happening. The women, most often we the men will say nothing is going on. So women are very, very instinctive. So when it comes to the warning of certain friendship or friends, the men we should try and take it serious. They mean what they say. Though some of them do it out of jealousy or out of. But when a woman naturally tells you that this your friend, I don't like him, he's like this. It can be, as men, we should be careful. As men, we should take it serious. They mean what they say. In most cases, it can be your friend has made even an advance on her. And she doesn't want to spoil the friendship. So she put it in a mild way. And when the women are pressing, they will say, no, you are just jealous or you are just unrealistic. So these are some of the situations we should guide against when it's happening in our marriages or when
one more thing.
Friendship.
One more thing. The women, they should be very careful of, in quotes, the friends they take money from. Especially the men. Men don't give money for free.
It's not Father Christmas.
We are not Father Christmas.
There's no free lunch.
No, there's no free lunch. No.
Look, we may have the motive of giving it to you because we want to give it to you. But we are preparing the way. If one day you decide to come and die ours, if you want to come for Thanksgiving, we will never say no. In fact, we are giving you the money because we have had the motive to chop you already. But because you are married, we want to respect your space one way or the other. But if you disrespect yourself and you bring yourself, they will chop you.
I was just listening to one TikTok, as you said, TikTok as a friend, and the woman was giving a testimony. Is it testimony or presentation? That next said name and also my experience in the maybe I meant to say. Also, your geo number pay. Within some days, we will now send you Sika Momo. Also, Sika also just say no, I know why you're confused. I want to say, Uncle Dana said. Also, let me say some money and also a new trick job. The other one cry. Also, your geo number, Pomo, also was said you.
Men say market no ha. Men say market. Mon coffee.
Also use the phone to call him and say, okay, let's have
oh, okay. Men say market no. You coffee and I said yeah. Oba ubu hu.
So it's very developed that point.
Yes, AKB. It's very critical that women in marriages who have friends they follow. Today my husband didn't do this. Today there is nothing in the house. The children's school fees, all those things. When the men keep giving you money,
it's a recipe.
It's a recipe for disaster. Number two, you the woman receiving the money, you are likely to dishonor your husband, thinking he is irresponsible for the struggle he is going through, and think that another man who has built life is comfortable with him, he has reached somewhere, rather loves you more than.
And for that, all that you know, she's depriving the wife and doing
exactly.
That
for all that you know,
the house is even worse than well because you want to just chop.
They may it gets to extent the woman may even develop feelings for the man without the man even proposing, just because the man gives him or provides the needs or what. Falling in love is very easy. It's just somebody consistently doing certain things you like in a consistent manner, and that is all. And for our women, it's that easy to have them in that way.
And everybody has a price.
Yes, and everybody has a price. Everyone. If a man really, for the men sometimes, for fun, not necessarily with anything. Adventuring. They just want to add it as their record. Something on the wall. It happened, and sometimes they just
go with that.
Some of them are even opportunistic. They didn't plan. You just brought yourself and they just did it. Like that. It's done and gone. But you are going to develop the emotions. And by developing emotion outside your marriage, you are leaving your marriage and you are killing the marriage.
And just don't pray that your husband sees that you are taking gift from another man.
It happened. There was a post I read on Facebook that one man divorced the wife just because he saw an intimate conversation between the wife and another man. And the woman said they didn't even sleep together. And the man said, since you started talking, you have done it already. And she was saying that you sit down there. I am divorced now just because of a WhatsApp conversation my husband saw. AKB is tantamount to cheating. When a woman's emotion leave your marital home, you have lost. The marriage is gone. When a woman start talking sexually with another man,
bring the marriage back.
How?
Bring it back.
AKB, when a woman goes, she's gone.
No, who said sometimes it's just for that moment. You understand? Like you are saying, Wama will say, she has given you this, she has given you that. So should I go and thank him this, that? So it develops gradually. Okay? But after some time, so she's not gone.
AKB, there is a difference between Ati Oban and Niso and you chancing on something that is ongoing. Something that is in process. If I think I started 4 years ago and you only saw it he's just looking for an opportunity or a plan to execute certain things and you chance upon it. You understand the point? Sometimes some things may have even happened that you don't even know of. And you have only
chancing upon it bring a stop to me because the lady will now be scared. Hey, wait there, I have to stop it.
Once a thief.
Okay, I was giving a talk to some people and I told the ladies that look, there are certain things you don't say because of transparency in marriage, or you are criffy or God fear, or you want to look so holy before your husband. You tell the truth. I says there are certain truths they don't say it in marriage, during dating or even courting. How many abortions have you caused?
Say it to God. It's only you.
That's why go and confess to your Catholic priest or your father. How many? And the men like asking it. How many men have dated you?
Your body count.
Your body count.
A standard answer. Only 3.
And the men like asking those questions. So there are certain things that should be between you and your God in marriage. So there are certain things to AKB. You should just pray that your husband doesn't see it, or even your spouse. You see, AKB, women do things with emotions. anything a woman is doing has some emotional attachment to it. Unless a woman is a prostitute, most women who have sex with a man went into that sexual relationship with some emotions. The men will go with adventurism or just for fun. That's why a man can have 10 wives, 10 concubines, but still respect and love the wife. But immediately, it cannot happen that to a woman. A woman, by the time she goes into sex with you, most often than not, she has developed some emotions towards you, either influenced by money, or influenced by looks, or influenced by something that she will always want to keep that thing. That one is research. So when it comes to that issue of privacy and confidentiality, especially issue of sex, we should know how to distance ourselves from it.
It's past 10 o'clock, so briefly now let's look at how one can manage this external friendship with marital wisdom. Let's just touch on it before we go.
As we say, the friends have never been the issue. Know your strength, know your weaknesses, and know when to tap into the friends, external friends outside you. Be cautious of all the warning signs that people have said. Exes are dangerous, friends are dangerous. They didn't say it for saying sake. They have wisdom, there is wisdom in it. These are people who have brought those words out of their own experiences. Know who you are and know how to leverage your friendship around you to help improve your marriage, but not deteriorate your marriage. Friends can make your marriage or make it. It all depends on you and never your friends. So be a better person and leverage your friends in order to help your marriage grow.
I think just like that, first know your friends, know their capacity, know yourself, know your weakness, and know your strength. Know your environment, very, very important. Know your family, the family you come from, and the family of the friends, what they are capable of doing, their record. It can be finally behave like the American. Have a permanent interest, the temporal friends. Temporal friends, because you should know where you go for what. What your friend can do for you. So just always in friendship behave like America. Have permanent interest, the temporal friends. It can be my greetings to my sweet mother and friend and darling. For her, she's my friend out of marriage. My Alimata. She's an elderly woman in church. Nakawawa, today she met me at the church. Nakawawa, last week I didn't hear of you. What happened? Mama, it's not always that I come. She's a very elderly woman. And to all Catholics, tomorrow is Corpus Christi, the blood and the body and blood of Jesus Christ. So we'll be exposing it. We'll be walking through the street of Tamale. So the good people, will come with the menstruum, that's the body and blood of Jesus, to purify Tamale. So we'll walk through some of the principal streets in Tamale. So Catholics will be busy in town tomorrow. So to all Catholics, especially my cathedral administrator, Father Thaddeus and Father Festio and Father Philemon. Shout out to all of you and to all my friends, especially colleagues in Ghana School and my students. And to all JSS students who have finished writing their exams and they are home, please get something doing and take good care of yourself. Good night.
Good night, and thanks to you, Papa, for coming. It's been a wonderful day.
Hey, someone on social media say, hey, say your buff, your monkey tabu kunumu yo. You bet Giomo, you know. It's serious. Obviously, your school, your buff, hey, man, monkey tabu kunumu yo. You bet Giomo. Okay, so. Parents, let's manage our children, especially with the issue of the social media. Yeah, that age, what they are saying on social media is very frightening. Yes. Let's try to engage them now that they are home. Parents, if you have any JSS graduate in your house, or they just try to engage them. Yeah.
More than one you could not have it.
Yeah, one more bet me, I won't be. And don't bet me, I won't be.
It's my
Then I'm sure I'm going to be social media.
I don't see a full topic. Another topic.
Seriously, a full topic. Into the caution, I Kawawa, then man, I get every year. Now, a woman, well, I'm going to
We are more militia.
What out here, I said the crown of the year. And you know, Sunday I tried to say, I would chew.
Both are maybe good as soon.
What secondary school Nigeria says that. Stool.
When you're school.
Secondary. So Papa no wumpo.
Now who you say?
Father Pastor Jiba Dombela, my God, spiritual father. Or say, Papa, when he was blessing the marriage, then he said, one man said he saw one stupid man, director, that the man carried a young girl's trunk and removed it in the school and selling it to the girls' dormitory. I was so disappointed in that director. Then Father Jiba Dombela said, hey, you don't know.
You don't know what you're saying.
If you knew what this small girl is doing to this man, the air you blew into the ears, now you even carry a house. Pastor Jim and mommy, good evening.
You even carry a house.
So the lady should also learn that. Got it.
Thanks so much to all those who listened, all those who watched us on Facebook. We really appreciate it. So having external friendships, we need to manage it with marital wisdom, and that's what we have talked about. Friends, being friends with married couples, or someone who is married, or a single friend, with the opposite sex, no, we say a serious red flag, and then it's a big no-no. But in all, you should set your boundaries and be accountable, and manage it with marital wisdom. So thanks so much. I have been in the studio here with Kawawa Suleimana Rashid, Kawawa History Master at Ghana School. Okay, he's also a researcher, an entrepreneur, and a business coach, together with titles or say who is a relationship expert and a counselor. Godfred has been with me in the studio. Of course, it's because of him we are live on Facebook. To all our Facebook friends, to all our listeners, we say thank you very, very much. See you, God willing, next week as we come back with the concluding part of the marriage and then friendship topic that is for this month of May. So many thanks to you. My name is Akusia Patma Bachi. Tomorrow it's Sunday, June. Then I'm a Sunday for me. So June, no. The marriage and friendship, and I involved the whole of June. So finish the last part, God willing, next week, Saturday. So make a date with us, stick and stay with us as well. Remember, tomorrow is Sunday. Get ready to go to church. All your things for church should be ready today, especially your dress should be ironed. That's the most important thing. Now, fast. Now, we'll tell you who you are, we are there for say, so www. Now we are person watch and we make sure we not time before. So just make sure your preparation is today. When you prepare, I still not too late. So thanks so much. My name is Akusia Fatima Boachi. Stay blessed. As they said, and never not ending on sleep, have a good night's sleep, and the married ones sleep tight. Bye-bye. Love you all. Bye.
Yeah.
Right.
Title say, "Be more yet, Miss Repeat."